Hey, gang, Bob Bannister here from CGCM Rock Radio, welcoming you into another edition of Rock Talk. Hey, while you're here, why don't you take a moment, click that like, that share, and that subscribe button. Drop us a comment as well. Let us know what you think. And maybe if there's an artist out there that you think we should be talking to, drop that in there as well and let us know. Well, you know me, I'm always up for chatting with people and Australian musicians. Yeah, absolutely. Bring it on. I'm not biased by any means. I love their music scene. It is just absolutely amazing. It is exploding, and it's something that I'm a little bit jealous of, and hope that in the near future we can get the Canadian music scene up and as big as the Australian music scene currently is. So that's why when artists come to me and ask for an interview, I try not to say no. Flamboyant Nightmare was one of those artists. They reached out and asked for an interview, and I said, sure, why not? So we penciled it in, sat down, and had a chat. So let's step inside the Rock Talk studio, sit down, and have a chat with Flamboyant Nightmare from Australia on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio. All right. And as promised, we are joined by the band Flamboyant Nightmare. Love that name. We've got Scott, we've got Daniel, we've got Rachel joining us. How's it going, guys?
Very well, thank you.
That's going really good.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
You're
Yeah, great
quite
to be
welcome.
here.
We're steaming away in Brisbane,
It's the right word for it.
getting very hot and sweaty these days.
You can send some of that my way. I was telling Scott a minute ago, today was minus 15 Celsius, and we've got 15 centimeters of snow on the ground. So,
Yeah, that's a lot.
You got the
That's a lot.
opposite of us then.
yes,
Yeah, it's like
exactly.
30.
I feel like there's a happy medium somewhere between what we've got.
Exactly.
Definitely.
We're a nice 24 degrees with low humidity. It'd be pretty nice, I think.
That'd be
For all
amazing.
of us.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
nice where you could still go to the beach and enjoy it.
exactly.
Yes.
All right, guys. So tell us the story of Flamboyant Nightmare. Where does Flamboyant Nightmare come from?
So I think that comes back to Rachel and I back in the day, few years ago, putting the band together on the tail end of an old band we were in together before that. Um, so we started putting a few songs together way back then, just the two of us. We were actually also doing a lot of painting and other art at the time, so that was the original idea behind Flamboyant Nightmare, doing some art. Uh, but it turned into the band. I think the naming of the band was, what's a good name for a bad acid trip? How would you describe that?
And that was a very reflective of the sort of art we were doing. It was very flamboyant backgrounds with sort of nightmarish foregrounds, like evil moons and eyes and mushrooms. And yeah, I think that's what sort of reflected the name.
Yeah. And then it turned into the band, so we kept it going. Over time, we picked up Sam and Scott as some other musician to help us play it along and really fill it out, make it more of a full band that actually works better, a lot more musically when there's four of you. I think
Mhm.
music is best done collaborative.
Yes,
Uh,
I will
yeah.
agree with that.
A lot more out of it when there's a few people there to share in the ideas, and music's meant to be shared.
That is great. Yes, I like that. Yes, music is definitely meant to be shared. How would you guys describe your creative process?
So a lot of
Great
it,
one.
I think, bounces back to I started writing a song. I'll put together like the a few guitar riffs, structure them together as a song, and then I might record those ideas down, throw them up on Google Drive or a Dropbox, and send them to the guys. And I say, Rachel, what have you got going on? Scott will throw in some cool bass ideas, which I think Scott has really helped fill out the sound a lot more than when we didn't have Scott doing bass, and it was boring bass lines that
Yeah,
I'd come up with.
I was originally doing bass and vocals, and as soon as Scott stepped in to audition for bass, I was just like, this is the guy. He's playing actual bass riffs, whereas I was just there trying to do both, like just playing like very basic stuff. So yeah, he's really helped fill out our sound.
Right on. As a failed musician myself, who used to play bass and try and sing, I can completely relate.
Yeah, I was very grateful to be like, you take on bass. I'll just do some singing now.
It's hard
But
to
yeah,
do both things at once. It's a tough gig.
yeah. Like my few songs where I have the guitar as well are like fun and simple, but like I like just being able to just concentrate on vocals. And I think it's helped me really improve my vocals as well because I can just think about that.
Right,
Um,
right.
but yeah.
So how do you fit into this, Scott? How did you come into the fold of Flamboyant Nightmare?
Mm. So I've been in the band since March last year. So
Last
I guess
March.
yeah, coming up to 2 years now, I guess. And it was basically an audition process. So I saw online that Flamboyant Nightmare were looking for a bassist. I'd kind of been away from the music scene for a little while, hadn't played in bands for a fair while, but I really, there was some demo stuff that Daniel and Rachel had put up that I really kind of clicked with. I listened to those demos and thought, yeah, this is actually something really cool. I'd really love to be a part of this. So yeah, reached out, auditioned, went along, and I think within 6 weeks we had our first gig. So that was really cool to jump straight in and get gigging. And then the next month we started recording our EP. So yeah, it was really cool. It was like instantly there was a heap going on. So it was a really interesting project to be a part of and get straight into. So yeah, haven't looked back.
Wow, right into the fire.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Excellent.
we threw him in the deep end. We literally went, "You're awesome. Here's where we're going. Can you be ready to be on stage in 6 weeks?" And then like we've already sent you some of the EP stuff, but can you learn that in the next few months? And yeah, smashed everything as well. Like smashed, isn't smashing the gigs. Has added amazing bass lines to everything. Very thankful.
Oh, shucks.
Very cool. Now, as I listen to it, I correct me if I'm wrong here, Scott. I'm hearing a bit of Tony Iommi influence creeping into your guitar style. Is that a fair comparison?
Oh, Daniel, do you mean guitar wise? I'm bass.
Sorry, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No, you're
my
good. You're
bad.
good.
So yeah, I do definitely have like a little bit of Tony Iommi. We all, I think, go back to him somewhere along the line. I think biggest kind of influences on myself are probably Dave Mustaine and James Hetfield, those
Mhm.
thrash guys, especially kind of where we're starting to head in the near future. There's a lot more of that thrashy sound that we're going to be
Mhm.
going on with. Uh, but yeah, I've always appreciated Tony Iommi's ability to just write a really good riff that's not having to be overly complicated, but it still will just get stuck in your head and
Yes.
stay there and make the song just drive forward. Like I think Paranoid, brilliant song, and like some of it he's just chugging along playing three chords. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun, 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 dun,
exactly.
dun, 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 dun. Great song, very simple riff, but it is the perfect riff for that song.
So is that how you approach your songwriting then? Just keep it as simple as you can to fit that song, or yeah, is there sometimes
Uh,
you just have to throw caution to the wind and be as flamboyant as possible?
oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I've probably written something that's coming up in the future, which is probably overshooting what I should have. Uh, Scott's laughing because he knows the riff I'm talking about. It's 8 bars of insanity in this
Yes.
song. God, it's
Just how
going to
to
be called
describe it. Mm.
Tyranny, but it is. If you think of, what if Yngwie Malmsteen wrote that riff in Megadeth's Holy Wars? Uh, It's that kind of intensity, just full out, non-stop.
And it's funny because like yeah, we live together and Daniel's been crazy trying to like learn this riff and he's sitting there going, why is this so hard? Like who wrote this? Why is it so difficult? And I'm sitting there like, dude, you did this.
Uh,
And like
look at the
that's what we
mirror.
love is that our upcoming stuff, Daniel's really pushing us all to up our game and it's really exciting to know that, we're gonna all step up for this next chapter.
Very cool. Now, Rachel, have you always been into music and singing, and what's your background?
Um, so I was definitely always into singing, not necessarily good at it, but I remember being the kid that would be like, Mom, Dad, let me like sing a song for you and put on a play for you. And they would be like, okay, very cool, let's go back to TV sort of thing. But I was in and out of piano lessons when I was, a child, teenager,
Hmm.
and always sort of too shy to properly jump into singing. And then, yeah, Daniel and I had sort of started doing some music and art together. And when we discussed starting our own band together, I felt ready. And he sort of gave me the confidence to be like, you know what, screw it, I'm doing it. I'm going to just go for it. And yeah, started doing vocal lessons and have come a very long way. But yeah, have always definitely wanted to sing. And it's really awesome to finally be doing it.
Very cool. So, what does the rest of 2025 and into 2026 hold for Flamboyant Nightmare? I know you guys have been talking about being in the studio, recording. So, give us a hint of what's coming up.
Oh yeah, so there is I've got written a very ambitious album that we're planning for next year. I want to start getting into the studio, pushing away on that one in January, coming up next month. Um, the album is going to be called The Wasteland. So think your Mad Max kind of theming there. Um, very much telling a story in, post-apocalyptic desert world. So that's the big vision of it, that it ties it all together. Um, I think I mentioned before it's getting in a much more kind of thrash direction, but adding in a lot more symphonic elements. So we're going to call that one Symphonic Thrash. Real original kind of genre name.
That works. That works.
Yeah. You get what's on the can.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to steal that. So what one of our sponsors here at CGCM Rock Radio is Iron Maiden Trooper Beer. And as everybody knows, Yannick, the third guitarist for Iron Maiden, is always the guy that's, maybe falling on his face or dropping his guitar or something like that in the live setting. Have you guys had a Yannick moment playing live?
No, we've luckily never fallen off. I've come
No.
close to falling off stage a couple of times.
Same, I
Um,
think. Yeah.
One of our most recent gigs, about 3 songs in, the bottom of my boot started falling off, and I managed to notice early enough to not fall, but I remember spending the whole gig having to sort of try and not let anyone know and not trip over any chords. So we've come very close to those moments.
Yeah. I think they're on the horizon, I think is what you're getting from us, Bob. We've avoided them so far, but it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. Give us another year and we'll have a different answer.
Okay, I'll come back. We'll do another interview after you release your album, and we'll talk some more about that. And I'll bring this back up.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll have to start practicing my guitar on top of a Bosu ball, so I've got
Yep.
the balance to avoid that.
But no matter how hard you try, it always happens. I part of my background was being a country music DJ, and I remember hearing for a while there that the one artist Luke Bryan, I think on one tour fell off the stage like 5 times. Just not being spatially aware of where he was and just going along doing his thing and boom, off into the
Yeah.
crowd he goes.
Oh no. I
Sometimes
have a
you're just
feeling.
caught up in the music. You're
Yeah.
just thinking more about the music and enjoying it, getting passionate, and suddenly, oh, I'm in the air. There's no ground underneath me anymore.
I'm shocked it hasn't happened to me because I am so clumsy and I'm always like just
Same.
bruised and cut from running and so yeah, I don't know how we haven't at some point at least one of us fallen off a stage. I guess most stages we've played aren't too high, so maybe that's been the trick. Like once we
Mm.
start playing on bigger stages, we'll start having more of those.
So do you
I
have
think
any?
it's going to be a competition between you and me, Rachel, as to who does it first. Sorry, Bob.
Yeah, I think it's going to be somehow. We'll do it. We'll try and do it in sync. Like we'll just
Yeah,
have this moment where we just both fall off the stage at the same time, completely unplanned.
yeah,
And then turn around and claim that it's your choreography.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So do you have any pre-show rituals that you have to do, like absolutely have to do, like almost like it's a superstition almost?
Ooh,
No.
no.
I like to do some scales and warm up my fingers though,
Right.
Yeah.
because there's nothing worse than trying to play a really fast line and your fingers aren't moving that fast.
Mm.
Right.
But otherwise, I'm pretty simple on that. I I just turn up and do my job.
I think maybe the only thing I can think of maybe as a band as a whole that like none of us will really have a drink beforehand. Like so, we'll be in a be in a bar or a club or wherever playing, and we'll all kind of just not have a drink beforehand, and after the show, different. But I think that's maybe the only thing I
Yeah.
can think of that's kind of uniform that we're all like, nope, we're going into this sober. That's probably it. Yeah,
I hear a lot
Yeah,
of
I think
half
the
people
dangerous.
say
closest
that.
thing we have is just be ready. Like
Mm.
when the band before us says like, "Oh, this is the final song," as we try to all be near the stage, but there's nothing too ritually. I've been trying to get in the habit of singing over the whole set earlier in the day, but I wouldn't say I've managed to turn that into a ritual yet.
Okay. All right. So is there one song that, maybe comes on your Spotify or on the radio or whatever, and you just stop dead in your tracks and you go, damn, I wish I wrote that song?
Yeah.
I
Lots.
have been rather obsessed with Tool's Numa. Uh, that comes down to I played guitar and drums, and uh, that's just a brilliant drum solo in the middle of that song.
Yes.
Breaks into it. Oh, let's just have a drum break for a couple of minutes here, and then build up on top of that. Just that build and build and build, and it just keeps going. It's just amazing.
I think
All
for
right.
me, if I was, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I
Oh,
was just going to say next.
I think for me, like Orion by Metallica is probably one that I just would always want to claim. That's a pretty good one. Or anything that there's a great I'm a bit of a prog metal fan, and then there's this great Danish band called Vola, and pretty much anything that they've written, I wish I had written because they've got some amazing stuff.
Right on. And how about you, Rachel?
I feel like there is so many that just particular lyrics. I'm like, oh, I absolutely love that lyric. One for me has actually been a much smaller band. There's this band in Sydney called Auratech who released a single called Empty Familiar a couple of months ago. And just every time I listen to it, like I'm like, oh, I wish I just could have like had that vocal intensity and those lyrics and that sound. So yeah, without listening off a bunch, that's definitely been the main one this year.
Awesome. Awesome. And who's on your personal playlists right now that you just keep gravitating back to?
Uh, well, I keep saying that Tool song,
Yeah.
Numa, keeps coming back. Uh, but I also love a good bit of Death Clock. I just keep putting that on as well. The old
Mhm.
Metalocalypse still going around my head. But yeah, I'm very classic Metallica and Megadeth. I can't get past them at the moment.
So then, with that being said, what do you think of the new Megadeth? I don't care.
Um, yeah, that sounds like. But no, I'm actually kind of keen to see what they do with Ride the Lightning.
Yeah.
See where that comes 40 years later since it was originally put out. That'll be interesting. I'm not sure if you can capture that same thing when you've been stewing on a song for 40 years. I think you need to get on top of something and put it out when it's a bit fresher, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
Agreed.
think, yeah, when you stew on the same idea, you kind of overcook it.
Mm.
Good point. Good point. So before I wrap up the interviews, I like to do this little thing called this or that. It has nothing to do with music. It's just a little bit of fun, some top of the head questions. If you're ready, we'll just dive on in, and everybody can answer these. All right, book
Perfect.
or movie?
Book.
I'm a movie guy.
And I'm a neither. I don't like either. So is there a neither option?
Soundtrack.
Sure. There
Soundtrack.
you
Soundtrack.
go. I
Yes.
like that one.
Or video game.
Yeah.
Dog or cat?
Both, but dog.
The dog.
Uh, both. Dog, literally, just because we have a dog. He'd be very upset if I said cat.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
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 Pizza or burger?
Burger.
Burger.
Burger on pizza?
Hey, that works. That totally works.
Pizza as burger.
Does Domino's do the
Yes, I
cheeseburger
was thinking
pizza
of-
over in
I'm
Canada?
pretty sure they do, and it's good.
It is good.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Wine.
Oh, okay.
We are all wine heads.
Yep.
And finally, we're one more food question. This is the big divider one. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
love it enough to be on, to take a really strong position. So I'll eat it. Yep, fine.
All right, awesome. Well, Scott, Danielle, and Rachel from Flamboyant Nightmare, thank you for joining us on this edition of Rock Talk. Take a minute to self-promote yourself and give us your Facebook, website, all that fun stuff.
Well, yeah, no website, but definitely hop on our Facebook. Rachel's our queen of social media, so watch out for everything she puts up, especially on Instagram and TikTok. And the Wasteland album that we're going to put out next year is what to be watching out for if you haven't got enough of the fall yet.
Yes. And basically our social media handle and everything is at Flamboyant Nightmare, normally with an underscore in the middle. So you should be able to find us everywhere.
Very cool. Very cool. Again, I want to thank you guys for joining us in this edition of Rock Talk. It's been an absolute blast getting to know you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much for
Thanks for
having
having
us.
Thanks so much,
Fun.
Bob. It's been
Yeah.
awesome to catch up.
Yeah,
Excellent.
absolutely.
And I want to thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you again next time with another edition of Rock Talk on CGCM Rock Radio.